Welcome to a special episode of Curt and Paul Discuss. We decided not to do a movie this week. For one thing, Curt couldn't be here again this week, and I was really having a hard time making myself go to what would have been a Kevin Hart movie, and I don't find Kevin Hart funny, so and I don't know, it wasn't getting good reviews or anything, and the only other thing I could see that was worth seeing was some Robert Redford film. Is supposedly his last film, but it looked kind of boring. I guess I'm just too shallow to, I don't know, make it to the theater sometimes. But I decided to instead to talk about a trailer that just came out for Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, I think it's called. And if you don't, basically Fantastic Beasts 2. So if you don't know already, J.K. Rowling has another fantasy series called Fantastic Beasts, starring the most annoying character she's ever created. This guy called Newt Scamander or something. He has perpetually terrible hair. It's like he has all these magical powers, but for some reason his hair is all screwed up, and he has the most annoying voice I've ever heard, and he's just disgusting to look at. He looks like he's got the flu or tuberculosis or something. I don't know. I don't know what the appropriate disease is, but whatever disease makes you really, really pale, Newt Scamander has that disease. And I've talked about him on my other show, The Binge List, about how boring this character is. And I also touched on the controversy that this trailer has brought to fore, which is and part of this trailer, well, let me just go ahead and show it real quick.
An address.
What's that?
A safe house in Paris.
Why would I need a safe house in Paris?
Should things at some point go terribly wrong, it's good to have a place to go. You know, for a cup of tea.
My brothers, my sisters, the clock is ticking fast. My dream, we who live for truth, for love. The moment has come to take our rightful place.
Okay, so right here, we got Voldemort's snake in this movie, Nagini. If you're a Harry Potter fan like I am, and the snake, it has been revealed was actually a person first, and apparently people are up in arms about this because the snake is being played by a Korean actress named Claudia Kim, and evidently she's part of some kind of class of wizard or I should say witch that call a maledictus or shapeshifter, cursed to eventually become trapped in a snake's body. So a lot of people were offended by this because as you probably know if you've seen the films, there's not a lot of diversity in the Harry Potter universe. Now, to be sure, there are people of color, but they're usually background characters, extras mostly. And I think I've read that even the one black character she has in the series, one of the black students, I think his name is Dean Thomas. Her publisher made that in the British version of the original, I think it was the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, they refer to Dean Thomas as black, and I've heard that J.K. Rowling's publisher made her change the name to change the description of him from black to dark. So they very discouraged her from even having a black character. So we know the story. J.K. Rowling, she wrote the book. She went on to become a billionaire. She doesn't owe anybody anything. And let me just make it clear, I'm a big fan of the Harry Potter series. But J.K. Rowling has this thing where she wants to be woke, or whatever you want to call it. She wants to show her that she's, she respects diversity. So she announced after the fact, after the movies and the books and everything else, that Dumbledore was gay, and that Hermione, I don't know whether she said Hermione was black, or I think they did a stage play with Hermione. It's called Harry Potter and the Cursed Child or something. I didn't see it, but apparently Hermione was played by a black woman, and J.K. Rowling came out and said she was fine with that. So she has this thing, and I wouldn't really call it courageous, because she's already made her $1 billion. It would have been more courageous if she actually had these diverse characters in the books from the get, and she didn't. So it's a little bit easy to go, after you've made your $1 billion, to come back and say, oh, by the way, this character is gay, this character is black, this character is Korean. But anyway, long story short, there's a lot of people are up in arms about this. And there's actually an article, they actually wrote an article in the Washington Post addressing this. So I'll just read what it says. At the heart of today's Harry Potter controversy is a 5-second clip in the Fantastic Beasts 2 trailer showing South Korean actress Claudia Kim transforming into a massive snake. The scene apparently reveals the backstory behind her character, Nagini, who eventually becomes Voldemort's pet. She is a maledictus, or shapeshifter, cursed to eventually become trapped in a snake's body. That doesn't sound too offensive or controversial until you realize that Kim is one of the only women of color in the franchise, beyond a few fleeting love interests, and that Nagini's main role in the series is to sustain Voldemort with milk and act as a vessel for his soul. In that context, it is more disturbing that Kim's role is reduced to playing a character who will become a white man's pet, literally. So J.K. Rowling came out and she tried to kind of walk this back, and she basically blamed the controversy on I guess mythology, Indonesian mythology. She says the Naga are snake-like mythical creatures of Indonesian mythology, hence the name Nagini. They are sometimes depicted as winged, sometimes as half human, half snake. Indonesia comprises a few hundred ethnic groups, including the Javanese, Chinese, and Bedawi. Have a lovely day. And they have a screenshot of somebody responding to this saying, listen, Joanne, I guess that Joanne is a real name. We get it. You didn't include enough representation when you wrote the books, but suddenly making Nagini into a Korean woman is garbage. Representation as an afterthought for more woke points is not good representation. And I do agree with that. But on the other hand, I have to say, I'm not one of those people that need all my characters to be my color to enjoy the story. I mean, no black kid. Let's say she made Harry Potter a black kid. No black kid is gonna go, well, hey, I want to grow up to be a wizard because Harry Potter was black just like me. No kid is gonna say that because wizards do not exist, first of all, and secondly, you don't need a character to be your color to be a role model to you. There's plenty of people I think are role models for me personally that don't share my skin color. It's just absurd that anybody would feel that way. So on one hand, I do agree with some of what has been said. I don't like this thing where she goes after the fact trying to make herself look more hip than she is. Just leave the books the way they are. They're written. No reason to embellish them and retcon them now. I mean, if you want to give representation, do it when you're writing the book. Don't do it afterwards. But it is her series. Like I said, she doesn't owe anybody anything. But getting back to this movie in particular, I do think this series of movies could have been improved if she would have made Newt Scamander a different race other than some nerdy, unkept white guy. I mean, she's already done that. She could even try to, make him a woman. Newt is kind of a gender neutral name. There was a character in Aliens called Newt. So I just felt like, what's her deal with only having white males as leads in her stories? I mean, she's a female writer, so that seems kind of weird to me. But I just thought this was interesting. I'll play a little bit more of the trailer. This trailer actually looks better than what I've seen from the other two trailers. But let me go ahead and play.
To take our rightful place in the world where we wizards were free. Join me.
I also have to point out, she also has gotten some flack for allowing Johnny Depp to be in her movie, because Johnny Depp, you might know, got caught up in the whole Me Too thing. He's been accused by his wife of being of physical abuse. She's accused him of physically abusing her, I should say. We'll go ahead and play a little bit.
Or die.
The wizarding and non-wizarding worlds have been at peace for over a century. Grindelwald wants to see that peace destroyed.
You want me to hunt him down? Dumbledore, why can't you go?
I cannot move against Grindelwald. It has to be you.
You don't suffer from motion sickness, do you?
I don't do well on boats.
You'll be fine.
I have to say that it does also a character in this movie, I think being played by Lenny Kravitz's daughter, and I'm blanking on her name. Zoe, I think is her name, Zoe Kravitz. So that's one good thing. I haven't seen her so far, but let me play it and maybe she'll pop up.
Do you know why I admire you, Newt? You do not seek power. You simply ask, is the thing right? The time's coming when you're gonna have to pick a side.
No, I don't do sides.
What are you gonna do?
I think it's something.
You never met a monster you couldn't love.
So Zoe Kravitz, that might not be her last name, but she is Lenny Kravitz's daughter. So I'm not even sure if she was in the. I forgot the first movie so thoroughly. I don't even remember where she was in that movie, but she might have been in the first movie. But let me play the rest of it.
That's her brother?
I think that might have been the best rabbit of my life.
Well, that's it. Like I said, it looks a little bit more interesting. As with all these trailers, they release an early teaser trailer, usually, and the special effects aren't done. And then they'll release a trailer at a later date, and it looks a lot better. But I still don't like Newt as a character. But Harry Potter, the books, and the movies brought me a lot of joy, even as an adult. So I have to say, she doesn't owe me a thing. She's already provided me 8 wonderful books, but I just thought this controversy was interesting, and hopefully she'll get it right the next time, because obviously she's going to keep writing these books. And that's a great thing, or writing this stories in this universe. But that's all I got today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you when I see you.